Hello, Alessandrina here with Dexter and Alessandrina. And today I'm going to talk about how we try to resolve our emotions from essentially from the mind, and we can't. So, what to do and how to do it so that it actually gets resolved. So, when we feel a certain way, we begin to feel essentially, especially if it's not a pleasant way. It's usually when it's not pleasant, when it's uncomfortable. We will be essentially judging that, not accepting that, and rejecting our emotional state. And when we reject and judge our emotional state, then what will happen is that the mind will start to look for all the ways in which it can assess and evaluate in the environment all the ways in which things, people, situations, locations are essentially creating the negative emotion, right? So they're looking at cause and effect and not able to really go into the emotion itself in order to resolve it. And we're going to go into that in a moment. So people use the mind to try to control and change the emotion. And by doing that, they cannot actually consciously assess what is generating the emotion, what's underneath, the underlying patterns and the underlying beliefs that are actually generating the emotion. So this process of thinking our way through our emotions and like constantly just thinking about the way we feel, thinking about our problems, thinking with that same kind of energy as the energy of the problem itself. So we're thinking there's a problem, we don't know how to solve it, it's going to continue in time, it's going to have all these negative implications, and we start to project the worst case scenarios, and then we are really not in a good place to actually resolve what appears to be a problem. And in addition to that, we're also in a state where we're going to feel very reactive, very afraid, and have more negative emotions. So really not helpful. The mind cannot resolve your negative emotion. You can't think your way out of an emotion, like John Jones says. So instead of doing that, if you stay with the emotion, so if you feel what you feel, which is not easy because we have a lot of judgment of negative emotions, for instance. So feeling what we're feeling is not necessarily something that we invite and want in our lives. So when we actually feel what we feel and we sit with the emotion, then we can become aware of the underlying patterns and the underlying beliefs or fears that are generating the emotion. And then we can truly resolve the emotion at the core. And if you're interested in doing that, I published another video, or will publish another video, on anger and the process of anger and how to optimally resolve anger. And that's applicable to all negative emotions. So right now, for your process, once you're going underneath and you're starting to look at the patterns and beliefs and fears that are generating the negative emotion, then you have a process to deconstruct the emotion itself, and then to look at the fear or the belief and to also dismantle those. I hope this is helpful. Sending you lots of love.